Let's talk about it, man. Y'all see the thumbnail. I had to write down a few notes because I learned some things. I learned some things that I did not even know as far as Afro Puerto Ricans and stuff like that. So Annual AA is an Afro Puerto Rican, and you would never know unless you knew. Trump brought him out. You know, the first rappers I seen him bring out in a rally, a past rally when he was in New York. I believe he brought out Sleepy Hollow and Chef G, two dudes that had just recently were incarcerated. Excuse me, for racketeering, gun charges, drug charges, and all this attempted murders and all this stuff. And he brought him out for the rally, man. I don't understand. See, that's the disrespect right there, man. These presidents feel like celebrities, rappers represent us and as a whole, and they do not. But we're gonna talk about Annual AA because I seen a clip. It was like a 2-minute clip. I seen Trump bring out Annual AA, and he just sounded all nervous. He sounded nervous when he was speaking. I'm like, why does dude sound so nervous? I've heard his music before. When I used to work in a warehouse, I worked with this Puerto Rican dude, and he used to play Annual AA all the time. And I used to kind of like it. I used to kind of like it. You know what I mean? He was kind of decent. He had this one freestyle or song called Michael Myers. But I don't really listen to rap music or hip hop or stuff like that anymore too much anyways. But yeah, man, I know of Annual AA, and I would have never guessed. I would have never guessed his dad was of African descent. So his dad is of African descent, and his mom is white Puerto Rican. So Annual AA is an Afro Puerto Rican. I wrote some notes because, like I said, I found out some stuff that I didn't know. So Annual AA was born in Carolina, Puerto Rico, and he dealt with racism and bullying. Yes, he did. In his adolescent years, growing up, he dealt with it. You know why? Because of his father. The father is the head. I've said this before, and I'm going to keep telling y'all, man. The father is the head. The male sperm determines the sex of the child. This is proven facts. This is scientific facts. Even in the Bible, we know that Adam was born first and Eve was born through Adam's rib. So the man is the head. Whatever your father's background is, that's what you are. So I'm like, no wonder why this dude sounded all nervous when he was talking and whatnot. Straight up puppet, man. Rappers don't represent us, man. And I'm gonna break down why. So again, like I said, he dealt with bullying and racism where he grew up in Carolina, Puerto Rico because of his dad being Afro Latino. And let's just talk about the culture, man. How Africans help Puerto Ricans with culture. The cast iron pan known as the burin. I apologize if I'm not saying that correct. But these are a few different foods, man. Coconut rice, mofongo. Mofongo is one popular one I've heard for years. I actually tried it at a Spanish restaurant in Massachusetts years back. And sanchoco. I apologize if I didn't say that right. But those are three very popular dishes that Puerto Ricans have been cooking and eating for years. And the pan they cook it in was introduced by the Africans. Just let that sink in. So Africans are really, really a part of Puerto Rican culture, which creates the Afro Latinos. And I believe Cardi B is an Afro Latino as well. Just want to throw that in there. So the reason why a lot of Puerto Ricans will deny their African heritage is because it is linked to slavery. It is linked to slavery, racism, and violence. But when you have somebody like Annual AA who was raised and grew up dealing with that, you should be used to it, man. And you should be denouncing Carolina, Puerto Rico. You should be talking about togetherness. You should be. He had that time. He was up there on that podium, and he used that time for the wrong things. All he talked about was Puerto Rico. Oh, Puerto Rico. Trump backstage told me that he was going to help Puerto Rico. I want to help Puerto Rico, improve Puerto Rico. Why do you want to help a place? Now, I know Carolina is a small part out of the whole Puerto Rico, but I'm just saying in general, why do you want to help a place that was racist against their own people? Just because your father is of African descent, it doesn't matter, man. You grew up there in Puerto Rico. You're Puerto Rican. You're part Puerto Rican. You're part African. That's a good thing. That's something to be proud of. But no, you got people like Annual AA who only want to align with their Puerto Rican side. Only want to align with their white side. When I say white side, his mother is white Puerto Rican. Now, white Puerto Rican, more on the European side. More through European. And I believe it had a lot to do with people like Christopher Columbus. You know what I'm saying? Europeans that were coming over, they were sexually assaulting women You know what I'm saying? Then you have these generations and generations of mixed races and stuff like that, and mixed cultures. But yeah, man, if you were bullied by Puerto Ricans because you weren't fully Puerto Rican because of who your dad was, why are you up here on this podium talking about better in Puerto Rico? Or I talk with Trump backstage about better in Puerto Rico. What about Africa? What about togetherness? Why did you not stand on that podium and talk about I just want to say I dealt with a lot of racism because my dad was Afro Latina. And I just want to speak up, man, say it's not cool, man. African Americans and Puerto Ricans need to come together. Why did you not come up there and say that? Why? You have a voice. You have a following. You had the perfect opportunity. But no, you just want to talk about Puerto Rico. The African Americans have been crapped on for years, man. We're still getting crapped on. He has it in his blood. I wonder how his father feels about that crap, man. I wonder how his father feels about him. That you're just ignoring your African side. It's disgusting. It really is. And then Annual AA was standing next to some zesty man. And I don't know if it was his manager. I'm going to go ahead and assume it was his manager. But he had wrote a little BS speech down, talk about the reason why I like Trump is because you're not a puppet. Trump's not a puppet. Trump is 100% a puppet in control of opposition. This man, you could go look it up on YouTube right now. This man, Trump, is being seen in a clip next to Jerry Epstein pointing out young girls, pointing out blonde girls. These girls look like the ages between 16 and 19, and they're in a mansion together, sipping on drinks, pointing out girls. But he's not a puppet. He's a president, for goodness sakes. He's controlled by the government. He works for the government, but he's not a puppet. Come on, man. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. So, in the town of Loiza, Puerto Rico, there are 22% to 65% of Afro Latinos. That's more than half in that town. And we're not even talking about Puerto Rico as a whole. I'm pretty sure Puerto Rico as a whole, probably more than half. But you're still going to have those people whose fathers of African descent that will deny that side and align with the Puerto Rican side or align with the white side. Why are you ashamed of your history, man? Why are you ashamed of it? Slavery, racism, violence. You dealt with that. Why be ashamed of something that you dealt with? It's something that you can use as a power. That is a strength. Annual AA has a special strength that he does not want to use. You have a strength to pull African American people and Puerto Rican people together. Not just here in America, but in Puerto Rico. It's time to make a change. It's disgusting, man. And he sounded so nervous. If you haven't watched the clip, go ahead and watch the clip. I don't throw clips and stuff like that in here because due to copyright, man. I can't play with this channel. I'm monetized now. So I'm very, very careful. But yeah, man, he sounded extremely nervous. And you know why he sounded nervous? Because he knows deep down that he's of African descent. And he probably knows that his father is disgusted and ashamed of him. He knows it's not right. These rappers do not represent us. They do not. This is why I promote not voting. Because both of these presidents are making a mockery of this presidency. A mockery of politics. I just recently saw a clip of Kamala Harris wearing a LGBTQ looking sweater. I got more videos coming, man, back to back to back. So stay tuned, man. I got a video dropping talk about Roland Martin. I got a video dropping talk about Lil Boozy and Rollo. So stay tuned for those videos. Those are going to be really, really good videos coming next. I'm cooking today, man. I got to keep my foot on these people's necks, man, because they think it's a joke. It's not a joke, man. Why deny your African heritage, your African culture, when it's in you, when it's a part of your blood? Why are you denying it? Why are you denouncing it? It's crazy, man. It really is. It really is crazy. But this is the times we live in, man. These are the times we live in. I hope people wake up, man. I hope people wake up, because you got so many people that want to say, oh, vote for Trump, vote for Trump. How about not vote at all? You see what they're doing? They keep bringing these idiots on the podium when they're doing these rallies. These rappers, these celebrities are all idiots. Oh, I mess with Trump because he's not a puppet. Yeah, but you're a puppet. Let's say Trump is not a puppet. You are a puppet. You're controlled opposition. AOAA is controlled opposition. His manager is controlled opposition. Meg Thee Stallion is controlled opposition. Sleepy Hollow controlled opposition. Chef G controlled opposition. How do you think Chef G and Sleepy Hollow was able to get out and stand on that podium? Because of Trump. Trump pardoned Kodak Black. Rappers work for the government. The president works for the government. Trump will pardon a rapper to bring him on a podium to help win votes, to help get New York votes, the black votes. And Trump even said before he brought AOAA, I don't even know who this guy is. I don't know who this dude is. Trump has probably never heard an AOAA song. And if he did, he would probably have a headache. If Trump ever heard an AOAA song, he would get a headache and say, turn this off immediately. And the reason why I say this is because I don't know if you remember years back, before Trump was even talking about running for president, he said he would pay Young Thug to stop rapping. Yeah. He said he would pay Young Thug to stop rapping. Now, Young Thug sounded like a dying dog, like Courage the Cowardly Dog. So you know Trump doesn't listen to rap music. Trump doesn't like rap music, let alone reggaeton or Spanish music. And honestly, I'm pretty sure there is way more that Africans brought to Puerto Rican culture. I just didn't dig that deep. But mofongo is a very popular food. I even heard about people making it in prison. And Africans started that. They helped start that. So if you're Puerto Rican watching this video, man, I don't know if I said it already, to the Puerto Ricans here in America that are Puerto Rican but don't speak Spanish fluently, and they get made fun of. They have dealt with racism too, even in their own family. Yes, Puerto Rican family members will turn their back on another Puerto Rican if they don't speak the language. Instead of teaching them, they want to turn their back on them. Divide and conquer, man. People are so divided, that's why you have the opposition able to conquer. You got BlackRock and Vanguard that own literally everything. Buy up everything, all the real estate, all the media companies, all the movie companies, all the social media outlets. They run it all. That was their plan from years ago, how to control everything. Now that they've controlled everything, they have us divided. And we need to come together. And that's why I said, man, Annual AA had a perfect opportunity to say, I dealt with racism. I dealt with my own people turning their back on me just because my father was part black. I don't want to see this happen no more. I want togetherness. It starts here in America. There are plenty of Puerto Rican women and black males that are together here in America that have children together. Even if they don't work out, they've had children together. There are plenty Puerto Rican men that are married to black women here. I know a few. So it's not far-fetched. It's not like if he didn't go up there and say that wouldn't help make a change. It 100% would. These rappers have a voice. They have a following. But they're using it to help the opposition. Trump is the opposition. Any president is the opposition. Because presidents are elected, not selected. We don't select presidents. The community does not select presidents. They are elected by the Electoral College. It's that simple. So again, if you're Puerto Rican or you know somebody Puerto Rican that doesn't speak the language and their family turned their back on them, their friends turned their back on them, they dealt with bullying and being made fun of, comment down below, man. Because you're going to have people that think I'm just talking out my behind. Let's see who Trump brings out next, man. Let's see what artists they bring out next. He's trying to hit all avenues. He brought out the black hip hop rappers. He got him a reggaeton artist. What's next, man? Next, he gonna go and find him a popular Indian artist, a proper Chinese. I won't be surprised. You know, you're gonna find a proper Chinese Asian artist. I will not be surprised. It's like him and Kamala trying to one up each other on what celebrities they can bring up. Got the video on Roland Martin next, man. Hit the like button, subscribe, and comment down below. I'll see you in the next one. Peace and love.